Yes, yes.
Listen, people.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't got rhymes today. I don't got no rhymes today.
You ain't got it today?
I don't got I ain't no rhymes today. No rhymes on the comeback. New beat for the comeback.
Okay.
No rhymes for the comeback.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm loving that energy though.
Yeah.
I'm loving that energy.
This is one of those 30 I told you about.
Okay.
What's good, everybody? Welcome the fuck back.
Yes. Let's get a round of applause on that.
You are now tuned in to the Slang Editorial show. I'm your host, Coach Cap.
I'm Doughboy Sumz.
And we got two special guests in the building.
That's right.
My man Frank Starfire of the Just to Be Frank podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And,
what's going on, y'all?
And my brother Ace High.
Yes. Frank Ace High, happy to have y'all guys with us today. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a very, very special episode. For one, this is our 20th episode.
Episode motherfucking 20.
Episode 20. Shots off for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Moving strong on it. You know, and then also we dedicating this episode to X. You know what I'm saying? To DMX, to the legendary, to the great, DMX. To the phenomenal, to the gifted, to the talented artist, brother, father, husband, uncle. You know what I'm saying? All of the above. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
I can just go on and on with the words and the accolades for this man. So we're gonna dedicate this episode to DMX, man.
Yeah, this whole episode. The whole episode is all DMX.
Yep.
So
he's worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad we waited. I'm glad we waited till after everything was done.
Right.
To jump into it, to give ourselves some time to reflect on our own thoughts and feelings and emotions on it, and also just to see how the services and everything else went. You know what I'm saying? Afterwards, I wouldn't have wanted to report on all of that early on and then still have to like constantly comment and live with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. We could just go ahead and get it all out today.
Absolutely. I mean, so let's kind of just jump right into it.
You want to start? You want to start from how we?
Frank, I'll start off with you.
Okay.
Huh?
I was about to say, do you want to start off with how we got into listening to him, or did you want to start with how we felt about
that? Well, that's where I was going. I was just going, really more so like, what did X mean to you? Period. Like because there's so many people who take so many different things from X, right? And we're gonna get into the music and how we got into him. But the first question I want to ask is, what did X mean to you? Period. What did X mean to you, Frank?
I mean, look, man. To me, Earl Simmons, DMX was he was a champion to the everyman. Heard up. He was all the superlatives you said, they're all there, but the one that I always stick out with is just normal guy, man. Like he was just like everybody the fuck else. He just happened to rap. You know what I mean? Like DMX was somebody that you could literally look at and be like, yo, I could be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Kids in the street can look up and be like, yeah, I could be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just a normal dude who just happened to rap and be really, really, really good at it.
Right. Absolutely.
And, I remember we're gonna get into it, but I remember that first time I heard that growl and I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
That's right.
He opened the door to something in me that I didn't know existed. He opened the door into the world of hip hop that I didn't know existed. He opened the door into rhymes and a world that was brand new, and I'm gonna fucking miss that guy.
I feel you. Dope. Word. Ace. What the X mean to you, bro?
The first time I saw the Rough Riders anthem, right?
Talk about it. That
I was
video?
a young jit coming home from school. I ain't from New York, so I ain't know nothing about none of that. I remember coming home from school and watching BET. I saw the tail end of it, but it was crazy because when I switched back over to TRL, it was the new video, the world premiere of that joint.
Okay.
I said, who is these brothers that's riding through the streets of New York on quads, motorbikes, and wife beaters?
Talk about it. Talk about it.
That's why I'm wearing this.
The brother goes on to growl, and it wasn't like no little soft, you know what I'm saying? I'm a dog. I love dogs.
Right.
A grown man growled like an animal.
This motherfucker was barking.
Facts.
Oh, this brother's different. Caught the wave, gave him a shot as a young man. But it really became something different on flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Because then I saw that this was a man who had a walk that was similar to mine. Trying to balance out the highs and the lows, the God and the carnal flesh. You know what I'm saying? And it inspired me. Not only as a rapper, I think that's the least that we can say that he was, but as a man of God who was anointed, you know, with the ability to minister through his music. You know, I'm in a similar space right now where I'm going with my career. And I can say honestly, you know, that man's inspiration is like written all in it. I also remember watching Woodstock that same summer.
Yeah, boy.
That performance.
And seeing a black man rock a crowd of damn near 1 million people, bro.
Phenomenal. Yo, bro, I remember something about that performance right there, and I'm pretty sure you guys seen an interview he had, and he was saying after that performance, he didn't know why God gave him so much power. And he said, yo, it really fucked him up. It scared him. That performance, after seeing that, really threw him mentally in a whole nother place. Because he's like, why me? Why did you give me all of that power right there? I don't deserve that shit. It's confusing. And especially with the way that he grew up so hard. She's like, huh? What? Love? All that type of love? Hold on. I don't even know how to receive that. Because when I was looking for it, I didn't get it. Hold on, what the hell is all this? And it's crazy that people have to grow up, and sometimes when you receive so much love, or sometimes it don't even have to be to that type of abundance. When you receive some love, period, some people don't know how to take it. I've been in situations where I went to go hug somebody, and they're like, what? I don't hug me? And I'm like, hold on, what are you doing? I love you. Come here. And they was like, oh, wow. Bro, you know what? I never even thought about it. I needed a hug. It's my mother. You know what I'm saying? It's my mom's. You know what I'm saying? When I went to go hug her, she didn't even realize at the time that that's what she needed and what she'd been wanting for a while. It's just a hug. So can you imagine when DMX got something like that, where performers, you're at the top of the world, you're in movies, you're on every screen, and you got people of all colors chanting your name, moving to your every word, you know what I'm saying? Left, right. It's like, the fuck is that?
Crazy feeling, brother. That just gave me chills because I ain't had a million, but I done had thousands. In the way he described it, to understand that That why, God, why you give me this amount of power? Why? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine the magnitude that man of God, right? And I'm gonna keep referring it to that because I think people don't give him enough for that, right?
You're right. You're right about that too. You're right
The
about that.
man
I
of
like the fact
God.
that you brought that out there. You're absolutely right about that. We need to talk about that more because that's exactly what he was.
But wouldn't it be fair to say that he was also very much a man of the devil as well?
No,
Why not?
Because he was a man who was
He
fighting that.
wore both on his sleeve. So he
no.
wore both on his sleeve so greatly. And mind you,
Not a man.
I'm not saying that in a negative aspect.
I'm gonna disagree with. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna disagree with you on. I'm not. He's not a man of the devil. That's not no. A man. Hold on. Let me finish. A man fighting the devil.
Right. Let's say that.
Within himself.
Right.
He was constantly at war with
He's
himself.
at war with himself. Built
With
for
Damien.
With himself, which is a beautiful struggle.
Yes, he named him. He named him Damien. Like
he named him.
Like that's
it's a real. But that was like another person. It's a person that spoke to him.
You know what I'm saying? Like
but more so, if anything, all that shows me is that he was showing that he's human. All of the pain and the things that he go through as a human, not as in a man of the devil, but as in a human being living on this earth and going through shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's more so how I can.
Which I completely agree with and understand. But to somebody who's not versed in that and may not understand that conflict in that way, all they see is the superficial, and they'll just simply see God and the devil.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it was more so
something so nuanced.
It's more so
to live is to suffer, but to survive, well, that's to find meaning in the suffer.
It's
damn right.
It's more so.
Right.
It's just more so a man fighting with his own demons. That's all he was. You know what I'm saying? The devil is an angel and a devil on your shoulder, right? He's fighting between the two. He was caught in the middle, but he was never a man of the devil.
Not at all.
Definitely a
man
of God.
Poor choice of wording.
Out here running around calling themselves demons and on that type time for real.
Right.
Yeah.
We give that to them, right?
That's the fact.
All right, so
the fact that he kept fighting, the fact that he kept fighting, even though he was at war with himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful, like he's again, to live is to suffer, but to survive, well, that's to find the meaning in the suffering. Yeah. Like that right there is so profound.
It is. Mm-hmm. And here's something that I find very profound. Now, anybody that knows me knows I am not a religious person at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. But I will sit there and bow my head when DMX is saying a prayer. You know what I'm saying? Like that prayer right there, that one comes before the Convo is literally my two favorite DMX tracks of all time. The Convo is my favorite DMX song. Period. You know what I'm saying? Over niggas done started something, over Get At Me Dog, over Damien, over all of the Convo is my favorite song.
I think that part of his music and that type of music that he made definitely touched more people than his regular, traditional hip hop like that song. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm outside at the memorial yesterday, and when I'm talking about you seeing people cry, you seeing the emotions, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming as a spectator. As a spectator, it was overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? I got a clip of this one guy, you know what I'm saying? He's just crying. He's like, why do you love DMX so much? You talk about the similar stories of, growing up in group homes and all that other stuff. Those are hard stories that people make movies about, right? Luckily, we had it come out through song with DMX, right? We had CD, we had all of that. We had packaging, we had fucking 16 tracks, 18 tracks, right? We had 2 albums in 1 year. We was able to have this type of movie play out over the course of how many years, Cap? How many years have it been since we've been introduced to DMX?
Was it since 98? So
since 98.
98.
97. 96, 95, 96 actually, because Mike Geronimo's album.
So 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years. God gave us a 25-year movie with soundtracks to it.
Yeah.
With words to live by, encouraging shit with a black man. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it.
And I've said that, yes, Tupac's passing, Biggie's passing, Freaky Tah, all those people,
all crazy.
Big L, like all of I love all the music. I wish they had all survived. You know what I'm saying? To definitely, you know what I mean? But we were kids when they all died.
Right.
This is the first GOAT to die within. I hate to use the word GOAT, but this is the first of the lineage.
Right.
Correct.
That passed within our time.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Our childhood went along with him.
That's it's like, but I mean, like DMX. We grew up with DMX. Like, yeah, we know Tupac's music. I love Tupac. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I don't love Tupac.
Like, yeah.
But
our formative years.
right? But DMX, we got to grow old with DMX.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this hurt.
He's somebody we constantly rooted for.
Absolutely.
You felt like, so I he meant a lot to me on so many fucking levels. I connected on so many levels. He reminds me of somebody that's close as fuck to me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things with him, like just abandonment shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I felt close to him. I didn't know him, but I felt like I knew him. I felt like he knew me. So I related to so many things. That fight, that fight between fucking good and evil that you have all the time. That not feeling like you deserve love that you get.
Right.
I've been through all of that. I still fight through some of that kind of shit still. So he was, for the times I couldn't speak about the shit, there was somebody that spoke for me. And that's what he meant to me. Like, sometimes it was scary to know that there was somebody that knew how I felt. Cause you go through life right like that, right? You always feel like nobody understands me, nobody knows what I'm going through, nobody knows what I'm feeling, nobody will ever get it. And then you get these like specific people that you probably won't ever meet. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, and they just fucking speak to you. There's very few of them that I feel that way about. But you know what I'm saying? There's guys like him that are special, that you stop when they speak. You stop when you hear them. You see an interview with these people, you stop everything and zone in on it, because that's the only person that ever spoke to you. And
Let me show y'all something. I ain't post this on the internet, because this ain't what I'm, you know. You know, I've been working on my album, Cap. I told you I made the transition to gospel. So I was in the process of getting DMX to narrate that bitch.
Crazy.
Wow.
You know, it's funny. I got to meet him once, and he was, when they were filming Belly. If you remember the scene where they go to make the phone call at the pay phone to Keisha
on Linden Boulevard.
On Linden Boulevard, Linden and Franny Lou. He sat out there while they were setting up the shot, waiting for the lighting to get right. He sat out there with dudes, Vega, Greg, and my boy Dollar sat there and freestyle with DMX for like 2 hours straight.
It's crazy.
And the whole time he was just sitting there showing love to everybody, just just enjoying the people. And that's what I mean. Like, he was just a normal dude. When I got to shake his hand, I got to give him a pound and say, yo, I love your shit, man. Man, if I could go back to that kid,
right?
Fuck, man.
You know, I want to dial back to something real quick. When you was talking about he's like the first of our generation that was kind of like real big like this, even though all of them have been big, but this one was a little different. And I talked to my father about the same thing. I said, of course, you know, Biggie hurt, you know, Pac hurt, Freaky Ty, Pun, all of them hurt, right? But I asked my father, I said, which one was it for you? Basically, that to paraphrase the question and shorten it down, is which one was it for you? And which one was it before that? And he was like, he didn't get it at first, but after I'm clarifying, he's like, oh, okay. He was like, you know what? You're right. Mine was Marvin Gaye.
I knew he was going to say that in the 80s.
And he said, yep. And he said, when I was talking to your grandfather one day, and his is Sam Cooke's. He said, yeah, I mean, 10, 20 years later, Sam Cooke comes on the radio. My grandfather would still say, I remember the day that he died. Yep. And it drops his head. So it goes with, even though there was plenty of superstars and people that they loved throughout those years that died, it was that one. Mm-hmm. That one of that era of that generation that you're always going to remember. Yep. And I think DMX is that one who totally fits the criteria of that person, of the Marvin Gaye, of a Sam Cooke, but with DMX and even so much more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tupac too, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. There's just something totally different about X, and I can say like his ministry. Tupac had his thing, but X ministry was bigger.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
He had more time to cultivate it.
More time.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Pac, if he had the time that X had, 25 years,
forget about it.
We'd all be going to the voting booth, bubbling Tupac Shakur.
Oh, yep, yeah. I agree.
That's what they didn't want.
No. That's a different episode.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like when I look at X, right? You know, humble man. You go back and watch some of them videos when he was battling all these cats, battling Jay-Z. Look at what he was wearing. This is a multi-millionaire. You know,
right?
When he got tired of living in New York and LA, where'd he go? He went and bought a whole bunch of land in Arizona before Kanye did anything like that. DMX did it to find his peace. You know, as a troubled man who's constantly in search of that peace, it creates beautiful art. It creates a beautiful art because you get to from states of reflection now, right? As he got older, you know, let's not hold this on Young X, because Young X was a monster. He was right. He didn't have that moment like you said into Woodstock, and it's like, whoa, put things into perspective, right? Mm-hmm. As X got older and got more fame, because he only got more famous from that point forward. Mm-hmm. You know, he had a 2-3 summer run where he was in some of the biggest blockbuster movies.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. I mean, there's networks that do X days, right? Where they play like back-to-back X movies like for the whole day. And
well, he got like 7, so shit.
That's amazing. And he stepped out of, that's so crazy. I don't think people give him enough credit for this, right? As an actor, he was able to step out of the box of the regular hip hop actor.
He was a fucking action. He was an action star.
He was an action star.
He's a fucking action star. Like, what the fuck?
And he would have stayed at that had he not going to jail. He would have stayed in that level had he not gone to jail.
Yo, so you know what we'd be looking at? We could have been looking at The Rock
or LL.
Yeah, basically same thing.
And I will add this too.
Right.
Had Aaliyah lived, she'd have been right there with him.
Yeah.
Facts.
Word up. Because they had a production company growing.
Do you think
they had a production company growing. It was DMX, Aaliyah, Anthony Anderson, Tom Arnold, like everybody who was in that Cradle to the Grave shit, and the other one. They had a production company. They were building a company together, man, and they was gonna make movies.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So again, when I say, look, we talk about Earl Simmons, DMX, the character, in which the latter part of his life, he went away from. He didn't want to be DMX anymore. You know, that's crazy.
Right.
He didn't want to be that no more. You watch his interview.
Oh no, you was watching the interview about what? Bring that back.
Yeah, I'm saying you watch his interviews, and he was pretty much saying that shit. Look, man, I'm just trying to, stay, grabbing the bottle, setting the bottle down. You can see the war. You understand what I'm saying? That he was having with himself. Now, I'm going to throw this at y'all. Like, Cap knows this. I'm really close to K Solo, Kevin Madison. Oh, that's Godfather,
K Solo.
And I talked to Solo the day that the news broke. Of course, people knew that it was no good, like going into like a week before X's passing and shit. But I talked to Solo the day of X's passing, and it said that it hurt him. And then I had a chance to reconcile. To reconcile, and it put things into perspective for him. Because as much as we talk about it from our perspective, man, look how many people from that age group that have passed in the last 2 years. It's mind blowing, to be able to see all of this happening in real time, and with us being who we are as the journalists of the culture, who are the scribes and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Keeping track of all of this, being able to define them. I don't look at X's passing as Marvin Gaye's or Sam Cooke's. I look at X's passing as X's passing. Because he is the first from our generation, to across the other side,
I mean,
naturally, without from.
Yeah, I was gonna say big pun. I was gonna say pun,
but
I'm 34. I'm 34.
He passed so early.
Right.
He passed
I'm talking about somebody with 25 years in the public eye.
Yeah.
The only person that there's a few, right, that go into that timeline, right? It's Jay-Z. He's one of the other ones.
Ice Cube.
No, Cube was before that.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Oh, you mean just specific from
timeline?
Okay, you mean specific from that 90s era? Okay.
Post-Pac timeline, the post-Pac era.
All right, because you gotta understand, I'm older, so Ice Cube to me is he's in my timeline. Yeah. Like Ice Cube is a part of my timeline.
But Ice Cube was like, by the time you was a teenager, Ice Cube was Ice Cube. Like
he was Friday.
It's Friday. Like, Ice Cube was like Michael Jackson and like
he had his production company already by then.
Yeah, he was already in your life from a small kid. So those years where you were forming your own thoughts and becoming your own person and growing. You know what I'm saying? When you're coming of age, there's only a few of those people that are still around.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yo, look, thinking about that, right? With those artists in mind, do you think that DMX was like the first artist who was as vulnerable as he was?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Think about it. There was nobody else before him who gave such vulnerability, such clarity on their life.
Pac was vulnerable. Pac was very vulnerable.
But now I'm talking about let's graph it out. Let's kind of weigh it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I think DMX was the first who was much more vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's because he had much more problems.
Right. Like he cried. Like he cried and prayed. Like, you know what I mean? Like
this was a single, my G. I've been through mad different phases, like Mason, to find my way.
Yeah, I can't listen.
Now I know that happy days are not far away. If I'm strong enough, I live long enough to see my kids doing something more constructive with their time than bids. I know because I've been there, now I'm in there. Sit back and look at what it took for me to get there. First came the drama with my mama. Got on some fly shit till I split.
And said that I'ma
be that
seed that doesn't need much to succeed.
Strong enough greed in our hearts that doesn't bleed. I'm ready for the world, or at least I thought I was. Bagging when I caught a buzz. But thinking about how short I was. Going too fast and wouldn't last, but yo, I couldn't tell. Group homes and institutions prepare my ass for jail. They put me in a situation forcing me to be a man when I was just learning to stand without a helping hand. When we talking about vulnerability, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Pac's vulnerability was from a different perspective. It was from a third. He was talking about somebody else.
Dear mama.
Right.
Still got dear mama. You still got Brenda's got a baby. You still like
those were stories about other people.
Brenda's got a baby, sure, but dear mama, that's all him, man.
Of course, their mama's great.
But I don't think
won't take nothing away from that.
Is as vulnerable
it's
as
not.
God. Like we talking about when we talking about drawing the picture of his life. You understand? When you look at DMX as, you know what I'm saying, as the artist, okay, cool. We look at Earl Simmons as the man, that paints it out right there.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was a single.
Yeah.
There wasn't no B-side. That was a single.
Yep.
A symbol of vulnerabilities.
Yes. I really thought about it today. I was like, yo, you know what? There hasn't been another artist other than X, before X, that showed such vulnerability at such an increased level. You know what I'm saying? To where he'll cry, he'll bark, then he'll pray, then he'll laugh, then he'll tell you about my pain, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
and then he'll shoot a bunch of people and rob you.
And then shoot you and rob you, like, you know what I'm saying?
My dog, he was in my left titty.
I love it. I love everything.
You know, let me tell you what else was great about Earl Simmons, and it's funny because when there's certain things, and it's like we knew DMX, but it's like after his passing, now we get to learn a little bit more about Earl, right? And I think one of the things that made Earl great, and also DMX, because Earl allowed DMX to share this, his love for nature, dogs, something natural, something that, you know what I mean? Like, we regular people, yeah, we love people, but like, yeah, but to love a dog, and to love dogs the way that he loved them. Like, I remember when I first wanted dogs because of X, you know what I'm saying? And I like dogs, but I was like, I want to love my dog the way he loves his dog. I want to love my dog the way Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a dog. Like, I'm going to love my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he showed that to people. Like, you got to have compassion for the animal.
Yeah.
That's different.
Very.
That was a big part of him. Now, see, everybody can talk about, he might have been in drugs and all of this other shit. One of the biggest things that he taught me was to have love and compassion for the nature.
That's right.
And that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, look,
people don't even realize that.
Too many people want to focus on the negative aspects of things, man. But
the media is always going to do that.
Fuck that. I'm looking at all the positive.
Not just the media, bro. Not just the media.
And I'm gonna say something, and this is some real shit for me. I live in Pennsylvania. I would still read the New York Daily News every day, right? The New York Daily News. I've been reading the New York Daily News since I was a fucking child. That beloved prince and troubled, but like the beloved but troubled rapper.
That was the Post.
No, that was the Daily News.
Sure, I believe that was the Post.
No, the Post. Okay. The Post did some other whack shit about his houses.
Never fuck with the Post. Shit. But the Daily News, that shit, that headline disgusted me because I don't know one person who can give 3 flying fucks about some old decrepit racist son of a bitch in Europe. But DMX was literally a hometown hero, and that's the fucking headline of his passing.
Yeah, there was no respect on his name with that whatsoever.
But hey,
that's the crazy thing. You know what? Yo, Cap, throw some shots on the Post.
Nah, but fuck all that. Nah, I don't even want to give light to that.
From the flip side of that, there was people who felt the exact opposite. It's crazy.
I don't even want to give light to that whack shit. Fuck all that shit.
That's crazy.
It pissed me off, man.
Nah,
that shit irks my fucking nerve.
Because it's way too much love out there for him for us to even be discussing that bullshit. Let's be real. I ain't see this whole week, this whole fucking couple of weeks, I ain't see nothing but an outpouring of love from everywhere. People of all ages and races. And he touched those people. It's not like fans, just like, oh, I just like his music. No.
It's different.
He's touched all of these people in ways that, you know what I'm saying, that you can't explain. The same way he's touched us, he's touched all these people around the world.
Right.
So let's not give light to that fuck shit, and let's really stay focused on the love, because that's what he was about. He was about love. He loved people. He gave love. Yes. As much as he felt he didn't deserve the love back, he always gave love.
He gave it.
And that's what we should focus and shed the light on, as opposed to anything negative connected to his name.
Yo, did y'all watch the funeral today?
I did. No. I did.
When his partners ran on stage and was telling stories about him, and they kicked him off stage.
Yeah.
Oh, word, I didn't see that.
He was kind of out of line for that though.
Who was that?
Somebody that was connected with him at pretty much at the end of the service, because I guess he was left out of the program or whatever. He basically ran up on the stage and started just saying whatever he had to say, and they shut him down. And I believe that he was shut down because of the energy he brought. Like how he was saying what he was saying, it was a negative energy in how he was saying. But
the work all that stuff is because it's a celebrity funeral. They got rid of all of the people that really loved X to put all of these celebrities and have them involved in it. And that's what the guy was saying. He said, "Look, I've been with X for the last 20 years. It was us taking him down to Nashville, working on this album, get him out the house while he was depressed during the pandemic. And y'all cutting us out of the proceedings. We're the ones who want to tell the story of her."
I feel you, but that's not the place or the time. Because
I agree.
His children were there, and if you respect that man, let me tell you something. If I'm going before any one of y'all motherfuckers that I'm talking to right now, and a nigga run up on stage in front of my children, you have all rights to beat the fuck out of him for me. Okay. I don't give a fuck who he is. That nigga could be an uncle, cousin. It could be one of the fucking homies. Everybody get the fuck up there, beat him the fuck down in the name of Cap. In the holy fucking name of me, my nigga, beat him the fuck up, because that's not the kind of disrespect you should show in front of a man's family.
Yeah, I dig it.
In front of his family, no matter who you are to him. You could have been wiping his ass. That man's mother, children, fiance, ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? You respect those people. Don't try to get your moment. Don't try to get your moment, fam. You could have did that shit. You could have did that shit on IG Live and talked your shit and had your feelings.
It's a fact. It's a fact. When I was watching it, shit just cut off abruptly. Is that why it got cut off? I was watching on YouTube, so that shit played all the way through. So I was watching it on YouTube, and it just cut off abruptly out of nowhere.
I can't watch it.
It was a very aggressive approach he had though. Word ups here. He was too aggressive. He was too aggressive. If he would have came up here, yo, I want to X his peoples. We took him like he had a very aggressive energy that was not needed in a room that was filled with love the whole time.
How did you guys feel when he dropped that second album in that 1 year? I remember how I felt.
I never seen nothing like that. I never seen nothing like that before. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was the first time. Crazy. That was the first. No, it was the second time. But we didn't. The first time it happened, we didn't recognize it because that person was gone already.
It was the first time it worked.
It worked the first time too. It's just Pac was dead. Let's be real. Machiavelli came out the same year as All Eyes on Me. Just Pac was dead. He couldn't promote it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, then you got a great point.
But
and I really forget that sometimes.
It was the first time we got to see it. Like it was the first time we got to see it. Like you seen the force that it became.
Yeah.
It was like it was first album, second album, Belly. You know, like, oh shit, this nigga is huge.
Yeah.
And then Romeo Must Die.
Yeah, and they was filming Belly before his first album came out.
Yes, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
I just found that out, bro.
Wow. I didn't know.
So was he a plant?
A plant? No.
Nah.
No, he was.
Well, hold on.
Before your first album
He had a presence though. See, we was in New York City, so
Yeah.
you caught him at Rough Riders Anthem. You said right?
Right.
Yeah.
Not Get At Me Dog, because Get At Me Dog was first.
And beyond that,
you didn't
4,
get
3,
him.
2, 1.
Yeah, so you didn't get him.
Before
then.
that, shut him down.
So prior to that, like I said, the Mike Geronimo record,
Right.
24 Hours to Live,
Yep.
fucking Money, Power, Respect.
Yep.
His name, and that's not counting freestyles on mixtapes. So we had him, like he was big in the. He was so big
He
in the
was
city.
omnipresent.
You had to.
I got that. But what I'm saying is, if you're shooting Belly, in which you're in a cast of superstars, they had to know his star power prior to it.
They had to.
They had to.
You couldn't hide that shit.
You couldn't hide it.
And that's because of his presence on those records. He's on a Jay-Z album before he has an album out.
But listen, hold on. You know what? Let me dial it back. In a way, he's right. Everybody's right, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because yes, he was a plant. Yes, somebody had enough to see his vision and see his talent to plant that seed somewhere. Yeah, Y and D and people like Irv Gotti. Hold on, okay. And people like Irv Gotti, yes, said, yo, I already know he's gonna be a star. So wherever I can put my man or wherever we can put him, we're gonna try. So they already knew that he was gonna be a star.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
his
so
team knew he was gonna be a star.
That's a different type of talent.
So when you say plant, I'm thinking in terms of give me a minute. I'm thinking
I know what you're thinking about, though.
Of when they say this artist here is an industry plant, like they created this thing to put it here for us to see.
That's what I think.
That's what I'm thinking when you're saying that. So that's why I have to come in and correct it and say.
But they did. But they did though.
No.
See, but that's what I said.
Let me finish. That man had a record deal already prior in 89. Like he was building a career. He had growth. He wasn't just picked up off the street and just put here in 96 and give it to us. No,
he had dropped 2 mainstream albums, then became a pop star. You understand what I'm saying?
But it took 10 years to get there. It took
how long did it take? How long was it between?
It took 10 years.
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my bone to Belly. How long?
A year tops. If you're talking about from filming to when the movie dropped. But what I'm saying is it took 10 years to get to that point. Unlike these new artists who they call plants, who fucking out of nowhere. He wasn't out of nowhere. That's what I'm saying. He's like any other artist from that time. They weren't out of nowhere. A lot of them had 10 years before they even got to
That's all of them, though.
point.
Peep game, though. Peep game, though, Cap. Peep game. Again, well, like, there's levels to everything, right? There's levels to it. You did? They knew that they could plant him and he was going to grow anywhere they put him.
They knew he was a star. That's not a plant. He was a star. He had star power. The same as Whitney Houston, the same as Michael Jackson, the same as Prince. They weren't planted. They were stars they were stars, bro.
They were destined for
him to become the action star that we know today.
He worked for.
I mean, damn right he worked for it. You can't take away the work.
So that's what. So see, we view plant. We're gonna agree to disagree because we view plant differently.
So what's up? Sumz, you look like you got a lot on your mind right now.
Because we want this great conversation.
We're just viewing
first
the
of all,
word
I don't think
different.
you actually view it differently. I think you kind of view it in the same.
I don't view it the same way he does. You're not gonna tell me how I view it.
All you're looking at, both of your guys are looking at strategy. Well, that's the only thing we're talking about. Is strategy. You know what I'm saying? And how people yes, they strategized and planted him in certain places.
I'm talking about
planted him in the mainstream.
But that's the right business though.
He earned his spot.
Right.
Nobody's taking it away from that.
Right.
We're not saying that. I'm not saying that he
didn't
earn it.
That's why I'm saying we view it differently. I'm talking about hard work and growth as opposed to what they call a plant now, and a motherfucker just puts out one song and that's the only song they ever made, and all of a sudden they're a quote unquote star.
Right.
It's two different things.
I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day,
I view it
you
different.
Basically,
I view it different.
You cannot disagree.
No,
to the fact. Hold on. Let me finish my question. Basically, what I'm gonna say now, forget Rich, where you at, Ace? You know what I'm saying? Basically, you cannot disagree for the fact that those moves are planting an artist in a specific situation because of it's going to work regardless of the work. I'm not talking about work. I'm talking about what the label does. That's just planting a person in the right situation that's right for them.
I disagree with
you.
All right. So
I disagree with you telling me I disagree.
Nah.
Say that again.
I disagree with you.
But when it comes down to
disagree.
I
can disagree, verbiage. And I do disagree.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Frank. It's verbiage. This ain't the same
verbiage. It's not that he's a plant. He positioned himself.
No, he didn't position anything.
Exactly.
It was the labels who positioned
him. He wasn't planted, but he was positioned properly because
of course they positioned him.
Definitely planted.
He worked
but they didn't
exponentially hard to get to where he had to get to.
I don't disagree with that. However, for that man to be able to do Woodstock after one album, bro.
Two.
The way bookings work, right? So the way bookings work,
some people just got it. People just got it.
The way bookings work, right? They plan this stuff out, especially of a magnitude of Woodstock's caliber, right?
But what I'm saying is, I remember when Woodstock was
before.
But what I'm saying is,
the first Woodstock.
But you gotta.
But what I'm saying is,
you gotta understand what he was before that.
His two albums. You know what I'm saying?
So he was a star before the album came out.
He was right, because if you heard him on Shut Him Down, like listen,
I heard him on that. But we talking about outside of we talking. This is a big world out here. Outside of New York City.
This is what I'm saying. We lived in New York City. We didn't have any
the rest of the country outside of New York City because it's a big world.
But it took that work. It took the work.
Right.
It took the work, bro.
It took the New York work.
I'm not knocking that. However, for him to be placed in the lane to become a mainstream star, in which they knew he was before any of this.
Of course.
To look at DMX and say, yo, this dude is a star. There's something about him.
Yeah, that's how he got signed.
For him, listen. For him to be put into the positions that he was, where he won mainstream, I'm not talking about, again, DMX the rapper. I'm talking about the career of Earl Simmons Jr. For him to be placed, to be able to come out the gate, action roles, for him to be able to be on national television the way he was.
Son,
he had a very good strategic team around him.
Excellent,
amazing. Very good strategic.
Was he a part of Violator Management?
No, it was rough. No, he was Rough Riders.
He wasn't, right?
He was Rough Riders. He was Rough Riders, and
who was he signed to though? But who was he signed?
He was signed to Def Jam. But he had
that machine had money to go. That machine had money to go.
He had the it factor. Actually, they were failing. And they needed him.
It factor.
DMX had money to go.
But he had
them. Rockefeller was
nobody.
No,
they say it all the time. Leor, Kevin Liles, Russell Simmons, they say it all the time. No matter who they had at the time, he saved Def Jam.
That
He
DMX
was a
saved Def Jam.
surefire. He was a surefire bet. That's all I'm saying. He was
Of
a
course,
surefire bet.
of
They had
course.
the
When
money
he's on
to be
every,
able to put behind him.
look
for
at
him
where
to
he
go.
was. He was on everybody that was hot shit. He was on
Rolling
it.
Stones covers like that don't come from like that's all politics.
But you gotta
But
look
no,
at what,
but-
look at
but
what was
listen-
before that. He was on Mace records. He was on the Lox records. He's on Jay-Z records. He's on LL Cool J records. No,
That's a whole lot. That's outside of Mace. That's a whole lot of what?
No,
Power, nigga.
LL Cool J is the GOAT, bro.
He's
But
on
I'm saying
powerful
outside of
records.
Mace, that's a whole lot of Def Jam.
It doesn't
You understand what I'm
matter.
saying?
It doesn't
Lox was
matter.
not Def Jam. I named 2 Def Jam artists. I named
You
2
said
Def
who?
Jam
You said
artists.
Mace was
I
the
said
only one that
Mace.
did that?
I said Mace, the Lox, LL, Jay-Z.
You didn't say Lox at first, but
I
you
did
said
say
Mace,
I did say the Lox.
LL, and Jay-Z.
I did say the
I
Lox.
didn't hear.
I did say the Lox. Yeah.
I didn't hear the Lox. I didn't
All
hear
right,
the Lox.
but and beyond that,
But he's
gotta
on
remember.
all these records.
you got to remember, we had no internet. Everything was street team and TV, radio,
Publications.
and all
And
that,
publications. And publications.
and publications.
A lot of that is before he signed to Def Jam.
Right.
A lot of that is before he signed to Def Jam. He had a name. Niggas wanted to see. It's like 50. It's the same as 50.
He had a buzz in the streets. He had a buzz in the
Oh,
streets.
yeah, no.
Listen,
Listen,
He had a
he
buzz in
got-
the streets as,
There's no
as a
question they put
as a
money
battle rapper.
behind
He was
him,
gonna
but they put
be
money
a,
behind him because they knew that it was a
Yeah,
surefire
but-
bet because of the grind he put in.
the money was gonna get behind him no matter where he went, bro.
X came out of prison, bro,
Yeah,
and hit the ground running. And hit the
I don't
ground
disagree.
running within a very small amount of time before he got his record deal.
Which is why I don't say he's a plant, bro. In
Yeah,
the-
nah,
in the-
he's
in the
not.
sense of that's what I'm saying. That and you just saying he's not right. He's
No,
not
he's
a-
not.
So
He's not
it-
the plant of what you're thinking in your head.
So, which is why I disagreed with his version of plant. Point proven.
No, not at all.
Fuck
not,
you.
If he was a-
not at all.
if he wants to say your version, then yes. But only thing I'm saying is he cannot disagree that he was. When we talk about strategy, that is planting. That is planting. When you're strategizing on how we're gonna put a person here to capitalize and make something over it
No,
and see something grow,
that's not
what we're doing.
planting.
We're planting.
That is
Planting
That's
is-
what
What are you talking about? Yes,
No.
it is.
That's exactly what it is.
To me, hold on.
Look, you the nigga that take the
Planting
Bible scriptures
is
and make it fit
literally-
for whatever you doing wrong at the time and shit. That's you.
Well, hold on. What happened?
Hold on,
What's
no.
that?
I said you.
Planting.
Hold on. I said,
Hold on, Frank.
I said you the type of motherfucker that use the Bible scriptures for all your wrongdoing and shit to make them fit the shit that you doing wrong. You that dude.
Maybe right.
Planting.
Psalms 3:16 says.
Planting is finding somebody who has literally no talent whatsoever.
That's not true.
Where did you get this definition from, nigga?
Think about it.
That's not true.
Nigga, what do you mean think about it?
Listen, you know what? I'm thinking about.
He just pulled that shit straight out his ass, nigga.
I don't even know what Frank is. What are you reading, nigga?
Listen, this is how I look at things because you got to remember. Now think about, but hold on. Now you got to remember. Hold on. No, you got to remember this. I come at this from as somebody who listens to music. I don't read magazines. I don't read fucking articles and publications. I don't do none of that shit.
You gotta read.
I listen to the music of the artists I love.
Roger.
So to me, somebody who's planted is somebody who is literally just created as a source of revenue. That's not Earl
Oh,
Simmons.
you talking about
So,
nigga? That's a that's GMO. That's a genetically modified plant, nigga.
Exactly.
You're talking about a real plant.
Peep game, right? Peep game, right? This is a business. As much as we are fans of the music and consumers of the product, there's still an entire business side to this.
Absolutely.
And that speaks to Earl's greatness even more.
I agree. I'm not taking anything away from
Wherever
that.
they could plan that. Hold on, let me finish that. Let me finish my statement. Wherever they could plant him at, he flourished.
Yeah.
Now, we are tired of today's industry plants because they're different. They get planted and they don't have the substance to promote fruit from their tree.
So
You
then,
understand?
so then we
They're
have
all
to use. So then we have to use different verbiage.
Nah,
No, we don't. No, we don't. We really don't.
let me tell you something. One thing,
And I like how you broke that down, bro. And I'm expounding on that too.
I'm not rolling with the word plant connected to DMX. I'm sorry.
Word up.
Because I believe
I said strategizing. Strategizing is planting at the same time.
If you want to say corporate strategizing, or if you want to say
however you want to package it, bro. However you want to box it up.
No matter what, when you compare it to other people that are labeled as plants, it still was hard fucking work. 10 years plus
of course it was.
Hard work and dedication. And that's what matters more than any fucking
of course
quote, unquote,
it was.
Planting, my nigga. Because
again,
if there was none of that,
the testament is that he flourished everywhere they planted him at, bro. Like, think about it. Think about
like any good plant. Like any good plant. That's fair.
No, and that's the point. No, don't say that. Don't say that. See, and that's fucked up. And see, and that goes to the point what Cap is saying. And let me just clear this real quick. And the difference between what he's saying and what you're thinking is because even though he was planted in places like he's supposed to be, he grew fucking organically. He grew organically because of the love and because of the work that he put in. Now, now what Rich is saying is because of the difference what we have now with these new industry plants, when we put them somewhere, they're not going to grow organically. We still have to manufacture the numbers. We still got to do this. We still got to make them look like they're better than they are. We got to make sure that they placed with other people and all that other shit. That's the difference. Some people are planted and they grow organically, and some people will continuously be modified throughout the point of their career. And that should be able to explain that right there to you, my nigga.
I'm going to be that seed.
Still not rolling with Planet.
I'm going to be that seed that doesn't need much to succeed.
There you go. In his own words.
Niggas always taking the Bible quotes to fit their own shit.
In his own words.
So I get a facts, nigga.
Nah, fuck you in your face. You get shot.
Not my facts, nigga. Stop playing, yo. Yeah, there we go. We dropping our own facts.
Get your own sound effects button and get your own facts.
Nigga, it's me anyway. I just say it whenever I want.
I planted it there.
See? There you go. You strategize. Now can I get a facts?
Give you some air horns, nigga, for the ambulance you got to call.
Nigga don't want to give me my own facts, nigga.
I see you in 3. Yeah. I see you in 3 weeks.
Hey, Sumz, you like the way I brought that full circle though?
Yeah, like absolutely. I did. Yeah, gave it back to them in their own words. You know what I'm saying? We can rest our case on that one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everything was great, man. Just going back to the memorial, bro. Yeah. It was so special. There was people out there doing performances. You know what I'm saying? Cops wasn't bothering nobody. When I talk about, there was a few times I thought it was gonna get hectic, like, cause the motherfuckers were stopping traffic. They didn't care. Like niggas coming through with cars and crawlers, different colors and shit, and everybody just run past the barricades, taking pictures and all that shit, stopping cars. Like, nah, we telling cars, like, nah, you gonna wait. Cops was letting the shit rock and all that. They ain't bothering nobody.
Yeah, I think because they just wanted to keep it peaceful out there. And nobody was out there.
Wilding. Nobody was wilding. No beefing. No fighting.
Nobody was out there.
It makes like to play a cop, so you know.
It was love out there. I wish I was up there to be.
I wanted you to be there, bro.
I would have been. I'd have been all in the middle of that shit,
bro. When I'm talking about,
you want to tell your story?
Which one?
Because so Sumz always ends up in places he's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
That sounds normal.
And for the sake of the Slang Editorial show and your stories of places where you're not supposed to be, similar to the power set.
I'll give it. Yeah,
you should tell the people where you ended up yesterday.
So yesterday, right during the memorial, I already know because how the Barclays is set up that people will probably like the people whose family is probably going in around the corner, right? So I go around the corner, whatever, and you see that's where they taking the list, and families coming out and saying, yeah, nah, such and such or whatever, right? So one lady who came out kind of didn't pay attention or didn't care who was coming in behind her. So security was like, yo, who's with you? They was like, yeah, such and such. And then they was like, yo, who you got? I was like, such and such. They ain't point really. So I'm in there. You see that little pool around? I was right in that circle, right? So I get past the barricades. I'm about to go into the to like this tent where the VIP is, right? And they're like, do you have your negative COVID test and your ticket? I'm like, oh shit. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So I go outside. I'm on a block, and I'm not supposed to be on the block, like because the only people that's on the block is like 50. I'd probably say like 60 FOI members, and they all just lined up like this. And because they're on security, they looking at me because I'm on the block and I'm walking back and forth in the middle of the shit, and I ain't supposed to be there. And all their eyes was like this on me at one time. I felt like somebody should have said, "No one man should have so much power."
The fruit was gonna get on your heels, man. They
Yo,
was on
boy.
your bumper.
Yo, when I'm telling you, I felt the heat. My nigga, all of them was like this. Eyes on me, bro. I'm like, oh shit. So I go across the street. Now I seen across the street was the hotel where some of the where the other rappers and shit was staying at. I seen niggas with their Porsches and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was dope, but I had to get off the block. I called Cap like, yo, should I try and press my luck and see if I get in there, or should I get off this block? He said, nigga, you do not want to be jumped by 60 FOI Muslims. Get the fuck off the block.
Facts.
Go home, nigga. Go home.
Yo, and you know what's so crazy? If they did start to pound on me, the whole Brooklyn is gonna start pounding on me.
Yeah.
They're gonna just think I did something wrong for the X shit. Who is he? What he do? I don't care. Let's whip his ass.
Oh yeah.
He's from the New York Post.
Yeah. He's from the New York Post. Get him. Word.
So
But
you know,
no one man should have all that
like
power.
Trump supporter and shit for no reason.
Not at all. But no one man should have all that power. You know what I mean?
Word up.
Yeah. Yo, stay out of places you don't belong, man.
Word.
I gotta do it.
Unless it's finally gonna benefit everybody on this call right now.
But I gotta keep trying until I get there.
You know what? I appreciate the gumption.
Yeah. Yo, what do you guys think about, like, you know, what are the kids? What do you think the kids feel? Right? There's probably so much mixed emotions in that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With kids thinking, hey,
I didn't
get enough of him.
I got a 17.
You know, you guys probably got more of DMX than I got.
I got a 17 and a 13-year-old, and it's about to be the saddest statement I've ever said in my life. They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck? You think? Nah. Why
they don't know
that?
him. They don't know him.
Because they don't know him.
Yeah.
They don't know him.
I don't have kids.
All that they know is what they've seen on TMZ of him. Some of them.
That's a good point. As harsh as it is, as real as it is, but that's what we do here. We're gonna talk real shit. We're not gonna sugarcoat nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that's a real ass statement though. Because out of 15, there's probably a lot of them.
Yeah.
Majority of them probably feel that. I was looking at some of the body language today. The older ones, yeah, you seen the love, but it felt like the little kids, the younger ones really didn't understand it yet.
No, because they're little kids.
A lot of kids you never seen better.
No. I'm not talking about the little babies like I'm not talking about like the twins babies. I mean like some of the ones who they would know, but like he said, the connection is probably a little lost.
They only know the time that they spent with him, bro. That's it. They don't know no more, no less than that. They only know what he gave them.
Right.
No, but let me tell you how real this is, right? That's what X understands. And X, I'm not saying that's what he wanted, but what Shara was saying earlier, she said, yo, she was talking to him about shit, and he said, yo, I'm for the world.
I'm for the world.
I'm here for the world. So basically, like, yeah, he's saying, yo, I know you want to talk about the kids, but if you don't understand, like, I'm really here. My journey is way bigger than just the kids. The kids gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? But
if there was a statement today that hit me, like hit home with me, that was the one.
That was it? I'm here for the world?
Because I feel like that.
Matter of fact, that's the name of this show. I'm here for the world. DMX, I'm here for the world.
Look, you know what?
He's definitely here for the world.
That's a very interesting concept because I feel the same way. Like it's just, and mind you, I can't watch funerals. I can't go to funerals. That shit hurts me too much, man. that shit breaks my heart to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but if somebody like DMX, somebody like Earl Simmons could recognize that was entirely his place, each of us got to look inward and recognize our own as well, man.
Absolutely.
He knew he was bigger than himself.
Right. And how
Whatever.
special is that?
I want y'all to think about this, my G. That ain't nothing to be fucking sad about. Nothing.
Nah.
We're talking about a kid from Yonkers, New York,
Mm-hmm.
who became a worldwide staple.
Mm-hmm.
I raised a glass to in celebration for what
That's
he
a
was
fact.
able to accomplish and gets to have all the adversity he had
That's a
in
fact.
his life.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly.
What we sad for?
Constantly.
Yes.
Right.
What we sad for? It's a kid from Yonkers, bro. A kid who used to snatch purses, who was in a group home from Yonkers, who became a multi-million-dollar man, not only in the money and the riches of monetary wealth, but a rich man in spirit who had the ability to be able to change others' perspective.
Indeed.
Oh, facts.
With the 25 years of life that he had to execute his mission on this earth, with his platform, brother. With his platform, man. Look at all the people he touched.
Yep.
One of my earliest memories of DMX when I was a young kid was him having an asthma attack on stage, bro.
You had to get the pump. Somebody brought him a pump, or he had the pump on. I don't remember.
He didn't get
I
to
think
the
it was
pump till the show was over. He didn't get to he wouldn't get to the pump till the show. He'll do the whole show. The lady was saying, I can't remember which person it was, but she said he wouldn't eat before the shows. If he was performing, he wouldn't eat at all till after the show. They would have his pump on the side of the stage. He'd go all day, night, and he would fast. And he'd get out there hungry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hungry to perform.
Literally.
And he'll fucking perform, kill the whole show. Remember, no hype man. It's him and the DJ, bro. Him and the
You never
fucking
once had a
DJ.
hype man?
No hype man, just the DJ.
Let's not talk about DMX no more. That's Earl Simmons. That's
no
a different
DJ.
because he
no
turns.
hype
You
man.
got to turn that light on when you get on that stage.
No
he turned the
hype
light
man.
on.
Just the DJ, and would get off that stage, fucking asthma attack. Damn near every trip.
It's crazy.
Damn near every
Shout out
trip.
to Earl Simmons Jr. Shout out to that man.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
His
indeed.
work
That man
ethic,
was
man.
amazing.
And you know what? I think we look at the work that we received. I don't think a lot of times we talk about the effort that it took to be given.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about what his and think about all of the demons or whatever that he may have been fighting or going through. This man would still be able to produce all of this work for us in a short amount of time with all the shit that he was going through. Imagine if the nigga never went through anything and just that amount
like
of
you
work
said,
ethic was back around that talent,
And like
crazy.
And like you said, being vulnerable, like giving himself. This ain't a bunch of poppy girl songs. This ain't a bunch of dance records. This is you get a little bit of that shit sprinkled. This is heart. This is pure heart and fucking soul. Heart and soul. Every trip. Pouring out.
Well, let's look at this too, right? The first album, I'm not so much sure about the second album. You guys probably have some information on that. But most of that came from when he was locked up. He had those songs already written. Yeah. So the things that he gave us came from his darkest moments. He wrote those in his darkest moments.
Right.
You know how...
And we're all creators here. All of us right here creators. We know what it feels like, and we know the type of music that we bring out when we come from our deepest and darkest moments.
You know,
and the way that it touches other people, it's crazy.
You go ahead, Frank, and then I'll go after you.
We may not have an idea of how it might touch other people. You know what I'm saying?
I do as an artist.
I never know how somebody might take what I say. You know what I'm
maybe
saying?
not beforehand, but I'm saying after the music is created.
Listen, after the music is created, but in those moments when I'm actually creating it,
no, you don't know. Yeah,
I'm not worried about what anybody else is thinking about it.
Yeah,
I'm in my moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And however you perceive it is how you're going to perceive it. But I know what I felt in that moment, and if I'm coming from that dark place, oh boy,
but that's to my point though. Right? We don't know how it's going to be seen. When you're creating a cake, you don't know how it's going to taste until it's actually done, right? And that's the thing about X. He came from his darkest moments, right? We didn't know how it was going to be seen, but look what it did. Look how many people it touched. You know what I'm saying? Those came from his darkest places, but it touched millions of people, and that is the reason why we know X and have that connection to him.
Right.
You know when I knew like he was like it.
When
the day the first album came out, he had an in-store at Music Factory on Jamaica Avenue in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody's had an in-store at this record store. Everybody. The most I ever seen up to that point was a line wrapped around the block. We cut school thinking we was going to get up there early. Me, Mitch, Mo Gotti, Inf. We get up there early. We think we get up there early. When I tell you, Gertz across Music Factory was across the street from Gertz Mall.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica Ave was packed with high school and junior high school kids. And I'm talking traffic couldn't move.
Right.
Traffic couldn't move. Nobody could, they shut it down.
They showed that shit on the news.
Yeah, cops came, they shut that shit down. That man could have stayed inside, signed whatever autographs for whoever was just stuck inside, and that be it. That man came to the door, no shirt on, dog chain around his neck. Open the door open. I can't remember if he stood on something or not, or somebody like held him up or something. But he opened the door. He looked larger than life, and he just barked for the kids out there, just waiting to see. He knew how bad they wanted to see him and touch him, and he came out and touched the people. He came to them as they came to him, and they couldn't get in. He came to them. He came to us just to let us know, I know you're here and I see you.
Dope.
No rapper, nobody from Queens ever had an in-store that shut down Jamaica Avenue like that, bro.
Nope.
Nobody that's ever had let me tell you, it's another group that's from Queens that had a fucking in-store a week prior down the street at Hot Wax. Nobody showed up.
At Hot Wax.
At Hot Wax.
At Hot Wax.
It was another group that was from Queens that also had that Survival of the Illest promotion. I'm not gonna say their name because I love them.
You mean Onyx?
Nobody was at that in-store. That speaks volumes about the level of greatness he had, the love he had, and the respect he had for the people.
That's probably why nobody was there. It was like, we just came from Team X.
Not X. That group was 2 weeks before X.
They was before X.
Yeah.
So it was that
before
Survival of the Illest time. So that album came out before X album. I think Ja was a part of that Survival of the Illest, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Ja was a part of or they was gearing up, or they was putting Ja on the Survival of the Illest CDs that came with the albums.
Right.
Random DMX fact. DMX is the first artist in
history to debut an album at number 1 5 times in a row.
I believe it.
Grand champ.
I believe it.
Grand champ. You know, a grand
Crazy
champ
part
in
is
dog fights is when a dog wins 5 fights in a row, right?
Did not know that.
That's why the 5th album was called Grand Champ.
Crazy part is he never had a number 1 record. Single.
I heard.
Yeah.
Damn, I wonder what beat. Hold on. He never had a number 1 single.
Get at me, dog. And Rough Riders Anthem was never the number 1 single.
But like on any chart, like no on hip hop. On hip hop charts.
Get at me, dog was like an underground record though.
But still
Rough
on
Riders
hip hop
Anthem.
chart. Like hold on, the joint with Cisco that ain't touched number 1 on the hip hop chart. Like the fuck.
No.
Hold
That's
on.
crazy.
Party up. Hold on. Party up.
Right.
Did not reach number 1 on any fucking chart. That shit ran for 3 years.
I want to know what beat those songs. What was the songs that beat those DMX songs in those years? That's crazy. But you know what? That's how shit goes with music.
You put that shit on now, motherfuckers gonna start dancing.
but it's-
Party Up peaked at number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100. Peaked at number 8 on Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs. Peaked at number 11 on Hot Rap Songs. Peaked at 39 on Mainstream Top 40. And peaked at number 7 on Rhythmic.
Wow.
Yo, how soon do you think we're gonna hear some unreleased music?
They said this summer.
This summer?
All right, yeah.
That's gonna be the album.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is that album he was putting together? Is that gonna come out?
Yeah, they said it's done.
Yeah, that's
They said-
definitely coming out.
They said it was so today. Y was at the podium at the funeral, and he's like, X handed them the album. Was like, I'm not promoting this. I put it in y'all hands. Y'all gonna do the work. The album was already done though. He finished it up at Snoop's studio in LA after the verses. He stayed at Snoop's studio and just finished the album up.
And see, I know we're gonna get that. That's a given, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking more so of like when we're gonna be like, yo, I got this track that is, you know what I'm saying, that I did with DMX one day. You know what I'm saying, that I never put out. Like, how soon we gonna hear some of them classic gems?
You're not gonna
of
hear
that
that. You're not gonna hear that. You know why?
Why?
He didn't fuck with rappers.
Yeah.
He
Except
didn't-
for Nori.
They tell you all the time he didn't like rappers. He looked at rappers the way I look at rappers, the way y'all should look at rappers. I don't know if y'all do, but all y'all niggas is like my enemy. Like I'm gonna eat you alive every chance I get to rap with you or against you. Like that's how he looked at rappers. Like I don't like nothing. How many times I gotta tell you rappers I don't have no friends.
Friends, yep. He did say that.
Like the nigga don't like rappers.
This is
He don't
hilarious.
fuck with rappers like that.
Nah, you're right. He said it. Yeah. How many times I see that?
so-
I have no friends.
So now
So you're right. We're not gonna get that.
You're not gonna really get random.
The only thing that we'll get is probably after this album, we'll still probably get some other drop music that we've never heard before. Some unreleased
I'm
stuff.
sure he has albums and albums of material
Right.
in the tuck that maybe he probably was like, nah, or you know what I'm saying. But
Who owns the publishing to that stuff? Who owns the masters?
we
Who owns the masters?
That's a good question.
we don't know.
And then also let's remember
I do know this.
at one point.
I do know he
just
re-signed with Def Jam. I do know that.
Just remember, at one point he was in debt of $44 million.
So who?
DMX.
To who?
I don't know. I don't know if it was to the IRS. I think it was taxes.
IRS.
Yeah.
44 million
44
in taxes.
Yeah, he was in debt
That's what
44
he went to
million.
jail for. Wasn't that what he went to jail for?
Oh shit. Well, shit. He paid his debt.
Right.
I don't know if that's what he went to jail for.
I think he did. I think it was some.
I know
tax
he went to jail for some driving shit one time.
I think he.
Yeah,
I think
stole a
he-
car and was
Didn't
on
he
like
go to jail a
the
few
airport.
times? Yeah, he's been-
Yo, first of all, we should be looking up some of his funniest arrest stories. Wait, I think he had impersonated
No,
a
man.
cop.
He impersonated the cop.
Nah,
I said funny. It's funny.
It's
like,
nothing funny.
But I think
bro.
he impersonated a cop and it drove like
you talking about that on Drink Champs.
Exactly. It's nothing bad.
Yeah,
but I think he did some time for that. I don't know if he did time for.
He did for tax fraud.
Tax.
Yep, from 2010 to 2016, he was in there 6 years.
Damn, jeez, wow.
And that's why the kids don't care.
That's big. Going 6. He was in the can for 6 years.
Yeah,
2010 to 2016.
I didn't even realize that.
No, I did not.
It didn't seem like that.
I did not know we lost DMX for 6 years.
That's what stopped
and he was in
run.
prison.
Yeah, that's
what stopped his. Stopped his run, literally.
Remy Ma did 8, right?
Yeah, she did 8.
Okay.
Yo, where was the free DMX campaign?
Styles P did 5.
Who was doing? You got to look at how the world. Look at how the world. Don't do that. Look at how
you said who? We just talked about how much reach this man has.
Maybe
the times was different and they don't.
Let me get there. Look at how the world looks at people that constantly go to jail.
Right.
So it's gonna be, you're gonna look like how we looked at Flav every time Flav got arrested, or when Gucci. Dirty got arrested, or you know what I'm saying, like, or Gucci or Boosie, or you just
any of these motherfuckers.
Nigga, like Kodak, he's in jail again.
Is he?
At a certain but I'm saying that's how you start. That's how the world is gonna start to look at it. Like, oh, that's just DMX. That's DMX.
That's what diminished his star power. Because you got to remember, he was a movie star, and then that stopped it.
Yeah, the world. You have to look at how the world looks at jail. There's not too. You ain't gonna get too many free such and such campaigns if you constantly are going back and forth to jail.
I don't know. I'm just surprised. I'm highly surprised. I'm highly surprised that I don't recall anybody or anything. But like going to bat for him.
You have to look at how he was back and forth so much. It's like,
and you know what? That's what Swizz Beatz was talking about. When Swizz was saying y'all supposed to be here for him before this, I think he was talking about shit like that because we forgot about that. Like he was going for 6 years, and we didn't hear nothing. Like nobody was bagging him. Free X. What can we do? I think he might have been talking about shit like that.
Look at it this way.
There's a big like.
You
like,
got
like,
fam.
Remember, we transitioned from the publication age at that time, right? The Source, the XXLs, and all that.
Right.
It was different. Realm. It was different.
Right. I get that.
And just look at it this way. Look at it this way. You got family members that probably go in and out of jail, and at a certain point, you like, man, I see that nigga when he get out.
Where you gonna put a free DMX campaign at? Other than
I'm just saying, even Eminem.
I'm talking about at that point, other than in the Source or XXL.
Right.
You know.
Hold on. What year that was? What year was that?
2010
and 2016. He said.
2010. We was in the digital age. My daughter was.
It was like all hip hop though. It was like all hip hop.
It wasn't.
But I'm just saying. Even Eminem wore a free Yayo shirt.
Yayo,
you know what I'm saying? Like we heard nothing.
That was a part of.
Hey, come on, my nigga.
That was a part of the 50 Cent campaign, and Yayo wasn't back and forth.
Nigga, I get that.
It was just in jail.
You comparing two different things. You're comparing a person. You're comparing a person that, in the public eye, has constantly been in trouble back and forth to somebody that's connected to today's darling of the times.
Right.
No, and I'm gonna tell you how you're wrong on that, because Eminem is not the public. Eminem's the one who wore the shirt. So where was the motherfuckers for DMX who created the free DMX campaign?
I just told you. I just told you.
Wiz and all them brothers, he really didn't fuck with nobody.
Right.
Him and Hov fell out. Him and JC fell out.
And then, let's be honest, free DMX, okay, sure, but he did it. So why are we, you know what I'm saying? Like he did it.
It was like he wasn't unjustly arrested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't constantly accosted by the same judge like say Meek Mill and shit.
Right.
It's like, God damn, this bitch is still knocking him over the head. Nah, my man literally drove around and said he was a cop and arrested a nigga.
Freeze, motherfucker! Like,
Hey yo.
Ours DMX.
Registration.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
so
son, you know he had a ball retelling those stories, son.
of course,
He had a, you know, he was one of those guys that must have loved telling those stories, like especially when, hey, let me tell you what I did to this guy. While you freeze me.
son, he said he had the switches in the car to cut the lights off.
Right.
He literally he does this all the time. This is just the one time he got caught.
This isn't new.
This is the one time he got caught hitting those lights in the car. He does this he has this car, it's his. He does this on a regular basis.
Yo,
there's no need
hilarious.
for a free DMX campaign because, you know, he did it.
So we should have had a hurry up, do your time and come home campaign.
Craziest thing though. Now that if we speaking about him going back and forth to prison and shit, Swiss was like, yo, he would purposely go to jail to be free.
He was institutionalized. He
felt free in jail.
A lot of people do.
That's crazy.
He was institutionalized.
Right.
From the time he was 12, that's all he knew.
But it's also.
I think it's different than that. I think it's different than that.
Yeah, I was about to say it's solitude, right? Like,
correct.
Exactly.
It's nobody.
Right. Exactly.
Like there's some structure in there, and there's nobody to pull you in this direction, that direction. Nobody's asking you for money.
Right,
Nobody.
no
there's no. The children's mother's not calling you for nothing. Nobody's calling your phone to beef with you. Like
they don't give a shit.
It's a real vacation for
Earl Simmons. You are number whatever.
Right.
Same as them.
That's some crazy.
That is crazy.
There seems
to feel
I've never been to prison
in a place like that. To feel at home in such a place.
Right.
To feel peace in such a place. That is nuts.
Yeah. Well, but think about it. We've never been to I've never been to prison. I've actively done everything in my power to not go to prison. You know what I'm saying? So I can't fathom that idea, but I understand because there is a solitude in that. There is something to it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe there is something more positive than we ever give credit to or see because, you know, it's prison. We don't associate prison with good things. You know what I'm saying? But perhaps there was something there that was positive for him.
Isn't it crazy or so ironic that a person who called himself Dark Man X shed so much light on the world?
I don't think it is irony. I think that's purposeful. Because it's what's the phrase? It's always darkest before the dawn. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have darkness before you can get to the light. You know what I'm saying? And his passion, his strength, his determination, his will, all the superlatives you have for him, all of those things matter. And the truth is they all encompass, like Ace said, man, they all encompass Earl Simmons, not just DMX. Mm-hmm. They all encompass that. You know what I'm saying? That light, that dark, everything about it. And I think that he found his light through the darkness, and that's something to be proud of.
But when I say ironic, I mean in a poetic way.
No, yeah, I get you.
You know what I mean? In a poetic way.
It is. No question.
Dark Man X. You know what I'm saying?
Earl Simmons outgrew that, though. Earl Simmons outgrew that. He outgrew that.
He was no longer. Sometimes you.
Oh yeah, he said that.
Sometimes even feeling dark on the inside, you want to give off light because you want to see other people shine.
Right.
Ace, I know you got a role. You got any last words before you got to dip? Because I know you got some stuff you got to handle.
We lost one of the greats, man. Indeed. An inspiration to many.
You know, I think that he needs to be recognized as a trailblazer and as a brother who laid down the blueprint for you know for an artist to be able to find themselves, be comfortable in their own skin, and being able to tell the stories, right or wrong, about their life. You know, that vulnerability will always be missed. The ministering work that he did for all those around him through his flaws, you know, that's gonna be missed. So big ups to my boy X, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was dope to see the city of New York. And you were there, so I'm jealous, man. I'm not gonna tell I'm jealous, but you were there, bro.
That's a
To
fact.
see that brother get driven around town in a monster truck.
Woo.
Bro, it was beautiful. And I'm talking about being there with the people who really loved him. Because even out there in the streets, there wasn't just fans, it was an overload of fans, but there was
Rough Riders from all over,
Exactly.
from all over America showed up.
Yo, my nigga, Rough Riders from everywhere was there, bro. You know what I'm saying? The Rough Riders, they kind of had their own little corner, their own little block. You know what I'm saying? They was doing their shit up, but it was beautiful. I got a lot of footage that I'm gonna be sharing with everybody. So when we put the video together and then we put it out, you guys are gonna see a lot of the footage that we have too.
Hopefully, some of that was filmed in landscape.
Some of it is after that initial phone call. Yes, I definitely went to landscape.
Yo,
I said, oh shit,
I love you,
all
brother.
right, brother.
Love y'all, man. Can't wait to see you again.
Always a pleasure.
No doubt. Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right, peace, bro.
Uno.
Right.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all for not for making this fun today, because I definitely
had to.
Man.
I was already after watching yesterday's service and then today's service. I was real heavy on, like, the waterworks is still up in there and shit, but I appreciate y'all for making it fun and letting me argue a little bit of that out.
Yeah, you got to.
I don't even know if I'm done. I gotta go to bed, but I don't even feel like I'm done. Like,
hey, I'm not done. If we ain't done, we're not done, man. You know what I'm saying? If it's up, then it's up.
Can we talk about the celebration of life yesterday, April 24th, for those that might be listening later? The way it was put together at the Barclays, I just want to say fucking bravo to fucking Kanye West, bro. and the Sunday service choir. I appreciate what he put together. I appreciate that he didn't speak. I appreciate that he wore a mask. And I appreciate that he was tucked in. Like, we didn't know he was there until they showed him on the ASR with the mask on. And as a person that people say he always makes everything about him, I loved that he didn't. And I love what they put together. Because you know that the stage, the stage and everything, stage design, the choir, all of that's him.
Right.
Down to the stage design. That means even the videos on the X kind of stage design and shit, he put all that together. They say Swiss called him in and asked him to put the service together. And I just wanna give him some love for that, because he didn't make it about him.
And you know what's dope about what you're saying with that? So as I'm outside on the memorial and I'm walking around the whole shit or whatever, so I'm just getting a feel of all the energy because there's so many pockets of shit going on. But so there's a Rough Rider who came out, and this is one great thing about how I loved about the whole shit too, right? So they thought enough to come out, and the people that was around the barricade was like, yo, look, we kind of noticed that y'all guys are waiting around thinking we're gonna play this up on the big thing. We're not. We're not playing up on the big thing because of COVID. So let me just tell you, it is on YouTube right now, and he went around. And one dude went around to everybody and was letting them know, like, yo, it's on YouTube. It's not gonna be. And then tomorrow, they explain it, and they ain't have to do that shit.
Nope, they didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
They
ain't have to do that shit.
They didn't.
But the mind, the wherewithal to think about people outside and be like, hold on. Like, if those people are waiting out there and we don't show it to them, they're gonna be restless. They're gonna be like, well, what the fuck happened?
Like X coming to the door Music Factory, right?
Exactly. Right. So they came out and let everybody know, like, look, you know, we're not gonna have it here, but you know, you guys we ain't kicking nobody away. You guys not going anywhere. We had a party. That's literally what it was. It was like a party in the whole downtown Brooklyn. And I'm gonna tell you what's so weird about this, right? So I don't know if you guys know, right? But so let's just look at Barclays. The whole Barclays is surrounded. It's a clusterfuck of people, right? But then blocks, it's spilling into other blocks. So as you go like maybe 4 or 5 blocks down, other blocks are barricaded because of the what's the name. So there's mad bars and restaurants having parties throughout the whole street. Wow. People walking through the street. So it was not just in front of the Barclays. It spilled out into basically the whole downtown area of Brooklyn, where you could walk around and just celebrating this man's life.
I saw LA, there was bikers. They did a ride in LA, they did rides in Vegas. I saw like there was people everywhere doing rides for X yesterday.
The different chapters.
Yeah, not just Rough Riders though. Different bike clubs.
Okay.
Different bike club, not just Rough Riders. It was riders from all walks of life.
Right.
From all walks of life, just
showing love to somebody who shared their passion.
That shit is so fucking beautiful, man. Like I've never seen that kind of outpouring for a musician. Anybody really.
You know what I mean? Aside from like a president or some shit. Like
I've never seen that for a president.
Yo, let me tell you, my nigga. So, I'm just sitting in the crib, and I was already going through some personal shit that day, right? Mm-hmm. And I just seen what's going on with the news cap, you know, because we had talked earlier.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I was like, I'm going to see X. I just told my wife, I'm like, yo, I'm out of there. I'm going to see X. You know what I'm saying? She's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, I'm out. Started getting dressed or whatever, and then she started telling me how her niece was like this huge DMX fan to like, you know, one of them people that fall out crying and shit and got memorabilia, that shit. And I'm gonna tell you some shit. She actually has a shrine in her crib. She sent pictures. She sent pictures, my nigga. So let me tell you what she was doing. This is crazy. She has a shrine in her crib that she was praying to the whole time that he'll make it through when he was in the hospital.
Wow.
She had her CDs and all that. She was like, yo, I still got my shrine up from when he was in the hospital. She's like, yo, I'm in the crib crying right now. And Angie told her, was like, yo, Donnell going to the what's name. She was like, yo, you know what? I'm going now too. I'm going. And my family came. So look, let me tell you what's so weird. I think my wife got a tracker on my phone because I'm on the block with one of my homeboys that I bump into, and out of fucking nowhere, my wife, my daughter, and all my family. Yo, you know, do you understand? Yo, bro, do you understand what they had to go through to find me? Yo, there's like damn near 1 million people out there. You just bump up to me, motherfucker. You got a track on my phone. Stop playing.
Oh shit,
that's
so dope.
That's special. But so dope. Look, I myself gotta go. I gotta work in the morning, but
yo, the working man is a sucker, Frank.
You ain't lying.
Fat.
You ain't lying. You're not.
Will never pay your bills.
You're not wrong at all. I agree with you 100%.
Man will never pay your bills.
You're not wrong, man. Don't worry. I mean, the Just Be Frank podcast is coming back, season 3.
Indeed.
That's what's up. We get around.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep doing new things. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to bring in some new correspondence from shit. Got some things planned. So, you know, but listen, gentlemen, I appreciate you for having me.
Of course.
And you know what I'm saying? Look, man,
No doubt.
this loss, it hit hard, man, and I'm glad I could celebrate it with you guys. And you know what I'm saying? This shit just really it helped. Word up. Thank you. I appreciate
That's what's up,
it, man.
You
And
know it.
you know what I mean? Yo, y'all motherfuckers keep watching the Slang Editorial show.
Yo, we love you, man.
Word up.
We love you, Frank.
Hey, man.
Peace.
Huh?
So we love you, man.
I love you, brother. Word up,
All right,
man.
bro.
Word up. I will see you, gentlemen. Enjoy, man. I appreciate
All right, man.
it. Word up. I don't know how do I do this.
Just hit leave.
Is he still there?
Just hit leave me. You need me to boot you out?
No, I got
Is he still there?
Is he there? Oh man, yo,
But man, there's no words that could describe really, man, what it was like out there to have so many people, just enjoying themselves, listening to music. Everybody's playing songs. There's different little pockets, and then songs will come on, and everybody's come through, one, two, one,
I
two.
know it was crazy.
You don't know what the fuck do. Come through.
I know
Yo,
that shit
it was
crazy, yo.
So, and everything was a show too, right? So just to give some of the listeners and all that an idea, like, so even though the blocks there was some blocks that was blocked off, you couldn't come through, but Flatbush was still open. But at the same time, it's like they turned Flatbush into an open strip. Cars are coming through, the bikers is coming through. There's this fucking African dude on a bike, half naked, with a volleyball on his head. Yo, look, he'll stop at the light.
I saw the dude I saw him on a bicycle.
Oh, you saw
with the ball on his head. I seen a video of dude, yeah. I seen it.
Son,
like a 32
that shit was crazy.
Zenith. I seen it.
Son, it was so much. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
you had little things like that, man, that made it special. It was all about, it was the people and the love. It was the people and the love that made it special. You know what I'm saying?
I hope that love stays with the world for a while.
Yeah.
Because we need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need it. And today's services. So we spoke personally, and I told you I was on this path. Told you I was on this path, and today's services are big plays. Like it was a big help in being like a guide on this path that I'm on. So I didn't tell you. I'll talk to you about it now. So when my uncle passed, I haven't properly grieved since. And for anybody that knows me knows that my Uncle John was like my dad.
Yeah.
And if you look at pictures of my Uncle John, if you knew him and X were kind of like damn near similar people. And so this path that I'm on is a grieving path, healthy grieving path, and just hearing some of the things I heard today were a big help. So as I cried here and there, they weren't like tears of pain or sadness. It was like joyful tears.
Okay.
So X's passing is helping me through my own grieving process that's been, 9 years and going, because I spent so much time being strong for everyone else around me. I never had a moment in that for myself.
For yourself, yeah.
So, and that's why I said, like, it's a path that nobody could walk with me on. Nobody can help me through. It's my own fight. It's something I gotta work through and shit. But a lot of his ways, the way he would think, the way he treated people, the way he dealt with people, the way people loved X is very similar to somebody that's close to me. And some of those values that he carried and gave out, and I share a lot of those same values. So when I'm hearing these things about this person I've never met in the physical, I've only met him through his music and interviews and shit like that, but he's a fucking complete reminder of somebody that raised me. It's crazy that it's a help in this transition that I'm going through.
I could dig it. Makes a lot of sense.
So this is one of those. He's one of those artists that I'm not like. I say it all the time on the show. I'm not like a fan of anyone like outside of like Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a fan out, Mike was the guy, right?
What it look like when you fan out? Let me see what it like do. Like let me see.
I'm always cool. I'm always cool. Maybe not when I was a kid. When I was a kid. Like if I was a kid,
I thought I could catch you.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I probably would have freaked out if I saw Mike. But like I'm not like I'm not a super fan of anyone like that. But there are a few people you're gonna get an argument with me over, and there are a few people whose music just touch my soul. And I relate to in a way where they feel like family. And X was one of those very few, like I could probably count them on one hand. Very few people that I feel that way about when it comes to their music and their message and the things they got me through. He got me through a lot of things as a teenager. Like I said, he made me feel like somebody heard me and somebody understood me. Much like the person that raised me, who was the only person, in my opinion, that understood me, that listened to me, that heard me. And when that person was locked up, X's music was coming through my speakers. So it's just, I have my own connection, much like anybody else that is a fan of his. And like I said, like these past 2 days, mostly today, hearing the things people say about him, I felt the weight come off me today.
So
I really felt the weight come off of me today.
So,
and I feel good about that. And I hope, I hope the world finally gets to see like the true soul of that man and what he stood for and what he believed in. Because a lot of the time, these artists that we love and revere and that mean a lot to us, the world don't really get that. They always want to look at the negative and the bad, and they want to stay on that shit. Like Mike, right? Speaking of Mike, man, been dead for how long? And they still try to sabotage that man.
Right.
So I only hope that what he means to the world, what X means to the world, that people really, really, really stick with that and throw any negative in the trash.
Believe so. I think X Spirit is gonna totally be resting in peace. Unlike
he's definitely
some
at peace.
You know what I mean? Like how after artists pass away, there's still so much negativity that people want to bring up. Like with Biggie and Pac, there was so much stuff around that. Who killed them? Did they have beef? Like, let these people rest. Right. I think with X, I think he just gave so much. It's like he's getting his flowers. They're gonna allow this man to rest in peace. Like, what else? What do you want to bring up about this man?
Well, you know what I believe?
Mm-hmm.
I believe all those people are resting, bro. I just think it's the people here on Earth.
Oh, that's a fact. You're absolutely right. In our minds. And I'm so glad you said that because I was literally talking in the way people speak and believe, but you're absolutely right. That's a big fact. These motherfuckers is not thinking about what's going, or the spirit, that soul is not thinking about what's going on over here like that.
The assholes is just out here to be assholes. But one thing they constantly, phrase that constantly played today in the service today was unconditional love.
Like a dog.
And
like a dog.
I know that's one thing I took from him. That's one thing I took from my uncle, and just, if I love you, I love you. I don't gotta, I like you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't gotta be the best of friends, but if I love you, I love you. There's no way, you don't have no way out of it. He said, yo, I'm your friend because I'm your friend, not because you're my friend. He said that on Drake Champs. And that's how it should be. Unconditional.
I'm your friend because I'm your friend, not because you're my friend.
Right. I love you because I love you, not because you love me.
It's dope. I like that.
We can roll out on we can roll out on that positivity.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. But you know what's so crazy?
I'm trying not to fucking cry here. Like,
I know, I feel you. I ain't get to say a few things about me.
Oh yeah,
what
go,
like
please.
Me,
yeah, please.
My fault. You know what I'm saying?
My fault. I just.
Nah, I feel you. I just, you know, I wanted to make sure at least I got that out before we go, or else, I just wouldn't feel right. But growing up, especially using music or having music as like my dream and shit like that, X definitely meant a lot, because I came from, when I was really getting into music, I was hard, like I was on bad boy type time, you know what I'm saying? And then
did you have shiny suit like?
Nah, but I would have put on a shiny suit. I would have had, what, my nigga? I would have had the shiniest velour, my nigga. Give me the shiny velour on a Rolex, nigga. We're gonna rap, son. But
Yo, I wish my camera wasn't so far away so I could put my face in the camera.
It's still working though. It's actually working.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so X came at that time where the game was switching up. Well, he switched it up, really, and what that switch up meant is crazy. That switch up took from all that shiny shit, right? Mm-hmm. And was like, yo, you know what? Let's just take away all that shiny shit. And what do we really have? Let's show you what we really have. We have emotions. We have hurt. Mm-hmm. We have the streets. We have real shit. We have real shit. So as a writer, Earl showed me that I could talk about my emotions. All my raps would have been about Rolexes that I probably wouldn't got no time soon.
You would have had a color TV that you could see the Knicks play basketball.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sitting next to Rihanna. I'm doing mad crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that.
Yo. Grandmaster Cass wrote flat screen TVs into existence, bro. Color TV. That's really on the wall.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Shit.
You watch the Knicks play basketball. You're right. Oh, yeah, shit. Man. That's dope. But yeah.
Oh, no. The pool was on the wall. Damn.
The pool was on the wall?
Yeah. After school, I take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. Whatever.
Okay. So, like I was saying.
I'm on a roll.
You are absolutely.
I'm over here trying to laugh so I can not fucking cry, like literally ball crying. Like I'm gonna fucking. When I go,
you did a great job, nigga. Nigga, if you lasted this long, bro, it'd be crazy if you.
Soon as I go,
it'd be crazy if you start letting it happen right before we close out. We're gonna close out.
Like Shan is gonna fucking be like, nigga, chill
out, right?
Like, yo, you gotta relax.
Yeah, just do me a favor. Just relax for one second.
I'm holding on. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Let me get this out so he can call. So nah, he told me that I could be able to be emotional with my music. I could talk about my flaws. I could talk about the different things that was going on in my life. Yeah. And be honest with you, before that, I didn't know that. I didn't have other artists that showed me that. I didn't get that from LL. I didn't get that really from Big or Pac. That it was a different type of vulnerability that he showed me that I can use within my music, which helped a lot. And I definitely appreciate DMX, Earl Simmons for that. And there's so much more, but it's time to roll out. I appreciate everybody for being on the show.
If we don't roll, I'm going to cry.
I know it was great. But on some real shit, bro, this shit was